Alright. Hello once again, everyone. I am back with some more FF4 Final Fantasy XIV Realm Reborn. As always, I am Rippington. And yeah, I know. Yeah, if you were there on my Twitter, or I guess X as it's now known as, things have been pretty hectic with me settling into my new schedule. Also, I need to get the tweet out. Sorry about the typing. Be right back in a little bit. Alright. It's now out, and yeah, from where we last left off, we have just taken down big old Thunderbeard, Lord Ramu. And you can tell by the title that I already know what's going to be coming next. So for now, let's get back into the action. Pray, forgive me if I tread over old ground, but I would first speak of the grand plan. Since the advent of the 7th Astral Era, the leaders of the three nations have been deliberating over an accord that seeks to bring the disparate forces of Eorzea together into a single entity. A realm-wide grand company, if you will. The military might of such an institution would be drawn from every corner of the land and directed against threats that no single nation could hope to overcome alone. Yet, while the purpose of this hypothetical organization is undisputed, the logistics of its formation have become a source of endless debate. The longer these discussions continue, the more I sense the impetus towards unification draining away. Thus, I've been campaigning for the creation of what might be considered a trial company. It will be on a much smaller scale than what we hope to eventually achieve, but capable of the same manner of unrestricted operation accorded to the Scions. It is my hope that the successful utilization of such a force will lend momentum to the lagging deliberations. Also, being a primarily military outfit, I mean to assuage fears of its misuse by placing the fledgling organization under the authority of the antecedent. The Scions work tirelessly to protect Eorzea and its people. But as you yourself have witnessed with the refugee revolt, there are limitations to what even we can achieve. With this new company under the Scions' command, however, we will be capable of responding to a wider range of difficulties without straining our resources or overtaxing your formidable talents. The goal of my proposed organization and those of the Scions are ultimately identical, a point conceded by all concerned. But before I can move forward with establishing the precursor to the true border-spanning Grand Company, it is yet necessary that I revisit the three leaders and gain their official approval. Just turning off fan. A tiresome and time-consuming task, which is why I would ask that you accompany on the journey and attend to the business of recruiting our inaugural members, while I am otherwise engaged with bureaucratic formalities. Okay? Thank you. It's reassuring indeed to know that the Bringer of Light and his discerning eye will be selecting our future allies. First destination will be Limsa Lominsa. Let us rendezvous at Bulwark Hall. Ah, there you are. I'm ready to ascend to the bridge and speak with Admiral Blowhiswin. While the Admiral and I are finalizing permissionary boundaries and signing parchments, I would have you begin the recruitment process in earnest. I have, of course, endeavored to spread word of our organization through various channels, but I believe a personal approach will reach many who may otherwise remain ignorant of the opportunity. As for the potential members, 'tis of no matter should they already be pledged to another institution, only that they are willing to lend their strength when the situation demands it. It needn't range into the countryside. The upper decks alone are populated with sufficient candidates to suit our purpose. Once you are satisfied with your recruiting efforts, meet me at the airship ticket counter, that we might prepare for the next leg of our journey. I don't know, they're probably going to be looking for pay. An organization with the freedom to operate with territorial impunity? I must say, your proposal intrigues me. But the Krakens well know that there is a time to act and a time to watch, and I'm afraid this child company of yours falls into the latter category. Master Alphino's new organization? Yes, I heard the formation of his trial company was in the offing. Just with regret, however, that I must decline your invitation. As commander of the Yellow Jackets, the protection of Limsa Laminsa must needs receive my full attention. The bloody hells do you think you're talking to, Drylander? I'm a pirate, not some sudden knight in shining plight. If you're looking for a self-righteous fop, try knocking on that Danny Carvalian's door. Well, how about that? A precursor to United Aeosian Company? While I do admire the scope of your ambition, my responsibilities here at Alec and Vimeo Hillies keep me close to the forge. I have no other time to be trapsing hither and yon across the realm. Should you require my skills as an armorer, however, I might be willing to accept some special commissions. Yeah, you're gonna need an incentive there, Alphino. And you haven't given me one. Sure, heroics is what I do, but not everyone is as noble as I am. Well, if it ain't Valzin, I've not forgot a adventurer brave enough or daft enough to seek a shortcut into Titan's bedchamber. You remember Oriole, don't you? Formerly of the Company of Heroes? 3 vessels at Bronze Lake. Aye, it ain't often I drag me arse out to Limsa for a drink, but I'm right glad I did. How fare you these days? Hmm? Looking to put together a new crew? Top tier work? Sounds like a right lark it does. Alrighty lad, count me in. The heroes might have gone their separate ways, but I ain't ready to climb into me grave just yet. Okay, you get 1, Alphino. Really, I'm just looking for the closest ether, right? Actually, wait, it's right there. Nah, I think this is quicker. Up there he is. Allison, your recruiting went well, I trust? I'm curious as to how my proposal was received by the rough and ready folk of Limsa Lamitsa. Ah, I know that the legendary Company of Heroes indicated his interest? Astonishing! I knew enlisting your aid was the right choice. If you could boast the acquaintance of such an elusive character. I, too, was successful in my task. The Admiral consented to sign all the documents requiring her approval. I can only hope that my visit with the Elder Seedseer proceeds as smoothly. Pray, continue on to Gridania at your own pace. I shall await your arrival at Noficus Alta. My audience for the Elder Seedseer is due to commence momentarily. I would be grateful if you would once more see to the task of recruitment here in Gridania. After you deem the well of potential candidates as run dry, let us rendezvous at the airship ticket counter as before. It's not often a guild officer such as myself gets recruited, and this company of yours certainly sounds it has some promise. But duties appear less than focused. I must refuse your invitation until such time as your organization is more organized. I mean, that's fair. You would offer this old man a place in your company of champions. I am both puzzled and honored by your invitation. Pray forgive me, young master, but I cannot accept. I am sworn to abide here for whatever scant years remain to me, and bear responsibility for the evils my lady has wrought upon this land. Grandfather, you must call it a day. Let's return to the guild and rest ere your tormented back gives up on you for good. I'm terribly sorry, we were just... Oh! Thousand, is it? It's been some time since I passed cross outside the kind of Copperbell mines. Why, you were barely more than a novice adventurer then, but look how far you come. Mother Mion tells me 'twas you who felled the fearsome Black Wolf. And now you seek stout-hearted souls to fill the ranks of a new order? Well, your cause is undoubtedly just, and my old companion here would be much relieved to see me in good hands. Yes! Yes, I'll do it! This is the very thing I've spent my entire adventuring career working towards! I shall join your company just as soon as I've seen Isildur safely home. Are we in Pallet Town now? This music just feels like the start of a Pokemon journey. Oh gods, can it truly be you? What fickle fortune must the first face I see upon my release be yours? Could it be that you don't remember me? It is I, Laurentius, the man whose crimes you exposed. I was a whaler and a regular patron at Buscaron's. Yes, now I remember. Well, of course you do. I was beginning to wonder if jail had changed me more than I realized. Not that I have any particular wish to be recognized after my shameful conduct. Less said of my past, the better, I suppose. And what of you, adventurer? What business brings you to this part of Britannia? Recruiting, eh? And what is your policy on reformed convicts? As the matter stands, the Wood Whalers will have not more to do with me. This may just be the second chance I was looking for. Reverence toll, you say? I shall leave at once. You shall not regret this, I promise you. I am a changed man. Proceeds to go back to his old habits. Well, Look, I'm a very forgiving person, but even I'm scared. But even I'm sus of this guy. What new thousand? For my part, the other Cecia was most amenable to our requirements. I'm a wood whaler and a seasoned adventurer. Our company will not lack for variety, that much is certain. An interesting harvest indeed. Shall we strike into Uldar while the iron is hot? Let us meet at the Royal Promenade and endeavor to conclude our remaining business. Our journey draws to a close. Uldar, the Gilded City, where one's misfortune defines one's worth, and defines one's worth. Hope some manner of fortune is with us, and this final leg proves as successful as the previous two. Might I suggest descending to the lower level before beginning your recruitment efforts? I do not think the Sultana will take kindly to us poaching her from our personal guard. Let us meet back at the promenade when our respective tasks are complete. Good hunting, Velzen. Just went through me. A company that looks to cure the ills of the realm entire? Listen, friend, I can scarce bear the complaints of the next stall over, let alone the conundrums of a neighboring nation. Aye, you'd be surprised what rumors drift down to Pearl Lane. I know of this glorious new company of yours, and just how far I go to avoid getting involved with it. Whispers on the street say your organization is funded by corrupt coin, by syndicate money. If you think you're recruiting for a just cause, then you're a bigger fool than I took you for. Alpha, no. Although, to be fair, not everyone on the syndicate is a prick. I mean, the Sultana and Reborn are pretty good. My faves, even. And Lolorito is a businessman, but at least he's fair. At least he has a fair argument. I'm sorry? You wish to recruit me? Is this some new fashioned manner of propositioning a lady? Well, I'm afraid you're wasting your time. This lady is already spoken for. Good day to you, sir. What's that supposed to mean? Oh, what a happy coincidence! Do you remember me, perchance? I am Orson, of the Church of Saint Adama Landama. Thank you again for your timely rescue. I must also thank you for preventing the fraudulent priest from preying on Drybone's less fortunate. Most upsetting business. Are you here with your companion, Thancred, was it? Ah, 'tis new companion to seek then. Your proposed organization sounds a powerful force for good, but my place is at the church with the children. Nevertheless, I wish you well in this undertaking. Ah, dang. Wait, you're the man who came to Little El Amigo looking for that masked devil. Who knows what might have happened if you hadn't? I'd probably be dead, and a lot more of my friends besides. We're such fools. Any road, that disaster really got me to thinking about our homeland, about the outsider who saved us from ourselves. I realized how easily I've been manipulated. I've vowed to make of myself a more worldly man. So here I am. A new company of champions? And you say it will take me to all corners of the realm? It sounds exactly like the kind of opportunity I need. Don't worry. I'm not the same stripling you met in Little El Amigo. I prepared myself to fight the evil I now know is out there. Okay. How fared you, Valzen? What hidden gems did the streets of Uldar offer up to your unrelenting gaze? A single Alamegan youth? Well, you've certainly given us an admirable start, even if our ranks are yet somewhat thin. In these troubled years following the calamity, talk of Eorzea's salvation must seem akin to grasping at clouds. But there are those who have risen to the challenge, nonetheless. And the hope that inspires these people was born in no small part from the victories you yourself have won. Thank you, Valzen. I will not squander the precious gift you have placed into my keeping. These recruits will become the foundation of a new beginning. And yes, we are free to begin. As you have no doubt surmised, the Sultana has also graced my trial company with her blessings. My first wave of recruitment is over, the document signed, and the finances secured. There is naught to prevent me from taking the next step. Next step? You're concerned by the Syndicate's involvement? As was I. Thus was the origin of every coin and their contribution carefully scrutinized and recorded. This organization will not be built on corruption. Naturally, I prefer not to rely upon outside sources at all, but even my family's substantial coffers could not sustain a venture of this magnitude. And as for the rumors and doubts surrounding this enterprise, well, such things shall plague us until the company has had a chance to prove its worth. It will not be an easy process, but we will earn the people's trust one success at a time. Speaking of time, we should waste no more of it. Let's return to the Rising Stones and lay the final stone for a united Eorzea. Oh, Alphino, you do not know how Ul'dah works. Pat, pat.
Tell me, General, what think you of Alphino's bold endeavor?
I think it is more than bold, Your Grace. His organization would pave the way for a united Eorzea. Well do I understand his impatience. Since facing the common threat of the Ultima weapon, our nations have seemed farther apart, not closer together. Considering the many problems we face, should we not be glad that someone else is taking the initiative?
We have all pledged our cooperation, yet the grumbling continues behind closed doors. Ul'dah is not alone in her duplicity. I myself have doubts as to the good this organization will achieve. With the inclusion of the finest soldiers of the 3 grand companies, it promises to be a fearsome military body. But whom will it serve? Even under the watchful gaze of the Scions, it is not unthinkable that such a force could perpetrate a great wrong. Does it not concern you that a significant proportion of its financial backing came from the coffers of the Syndicate? That those unprincipled worms might forge this extraordinary gathering of warriors into a private army?
I have trust in the Scions, Your Grace. They have spared us no end of trouble at the hands of the Primals. If they seek reinforcements, I deem it unwise to deny them. As for their finances, full many gave generously. And though our nobles proffered a sizable sum, their coin did not spill from the pockets of Lolorito and his cronies. And what of the presence of our stalwart adventurer friend in this endeavor? I doubt the Warrior of Light would betray our cause.
Yes, there is that, I suppose. Yet I have known people to change. Whether we will or no, the events of the age hurl us this way and that, like a dust devil skipping across the sands. Cannot be done about Telechi?
I have explored all avenues available to us, Your Grace. But as Ul'dah law now stands, we lack the evidence to convict him of any crime. To arrest him on spurious grounds would only play into his hands.
He has all but committed treason, and yet we can do nothing? Then what good our government? What worth the royal house? How deplorable this mockery of justice!
Have faith, Your Grace. It is not over.
Oh. See? I'm with the Sultana and her suspicions. And on paper, it sounds good, too good to be true, but it is too good to be true. Albino is being too overconfident about this. It is not a journey I soon wish to repeat, but I cannot pause to rest. The culmination of all our effort is at hand. I must see to the preparations for the inaugural ceremony. Thank you for allowing me to monopolize your services, Falzon. I am certain the antecedent will be relieved to see you free for other duties. Greetings, Falzon. Alphino tells me all is in place to begin his trial company. The Scions shall certainly be grateful to have the support of such an organization. The inaugural ceremony is set to take place here at the Rising Stones. Tara is cooperating with Alphino to see that all is in readiness. So I'm afraid the recruits themselves have been left to their own devices for the time being. Quite a number of new faces have arrived in Revenant's Toll of late, and I wonder if Slaveborn might not find himself overwhelmed. Would you speak with him and see if there's aught he requires? What can I do for you, Falzon? I thought you have your hands full helping out with this new armed Scions. Ha! I barely noticed your recruits arrived. It's barely a trickle compared to the flood of treasure hunters we have passed through here every day. Well, I appreciate your offer of aid. It is more your burden that concerns me. I'm told the Stroud Company will answer directly to the antecedent, so I trust this means less work for you in the long run. Slaveborn, the shipment, we couldn't. Godswoman, what the hell? We're bringing a shipment to Reference Toll. Provisions and earmark. Oh, damn it. No! There were many. Too many. We only escaped with our lives by abandoning the supplies. Pray forgive us. There is naught to forgive. Provisions can be replaced. But SWAT soldiers are hard to find. Take your rest. I'll have someone alone to tend to these wounds. What to do? If heretics are involved, then this is like to be more than a case of simple thievery. Ishgard will need to be informed. Once these supplies originate... House for Tom. We collected the provisions from Camp Dragonhead proper. Understood. I shall see that they are appraised of this development. Falzon, were you not on good terms with the Knights of House Fort Toms? I'll be sending them a missive immediately, of course, but I would also have you travel there and offer your considerable talents. Yes, I realize I contradict my earlier hopes to lighten your load, but I need someone who can help bring this incident to a satisfactory conclusion. Our favorable relations with Ishgard are far too important to risk half measures. Easy enough. Thank you for your understanding. I'm certain Lord Hortefant will be glad of your assistance. Can do. We get to see our boy again. So then I start our tank blasting. Well, if this isn't my fine friend Falcon Skycloak, would you care for a plate of roast caracol? Some mulled wine? No? Ah, I see you have not come into my home merely to escape the biting cold. I was, in fact, on the verge of opening an urgent missive from Revenant's Toll, and I suspect the timing of your arrival is no coincidence.
The incident with the New Frontier hands? No, you need not elaborate. I have been following their progress with no small amount of interest. Brave men and women all. They do our nation a great service. The existence of a fortified outpost in Mordona will do much to dissuade the Empire from trespassing on Kurthus soil. Right glad am I that you have chosen to lend your support to this endeavor. Never let it be said that House Fortom does not acknowledge the efforts of her allies, or her debts. 'Twas in the spirit of gratitude that I arranged for sundry supplies to be delivered to Revenant's Toll. That the shipment should chance to be waylaid by heretics is poor fortune indeed. Poor fortune, I say, yet not without precedent. If you would know the truth of it, these incorrigible villains grow more organized with each passing day. This new unity of purpose we attribute to their leader, the Lady Iceheart. But though I have devoted significant resources to the task of identifying this woman, we have yet to learn so much as her birth name. What we do know is that the heretics speak of Iceheart in reverent tones, and would gladly embrace death rather than betray her. Such loyalty is rare indeed, and I fear to imagine what so committed a collective might achieve. The brigands have not yet been so brazen as to risk direct confrontation here in Dragonhead. Some few of their number have, however, been sighted not far to the west of here, and with ever-increasing regularity. A visit to Whitebrim Front may bring you the answers you seek. Will you brave the snows, knowing what implacable foes may lie in wait?
Hey, it's no trouble to me.
Hallone's blessings be upon you. Though I take no pride in the admission, many of mine own countrymen are not so well suited as you adventurers to dealing with such foes. Were they dragons, it might be otherwise. But truly, I could not wish for a finer ally. You have done much for my house in the past, and I have no doubt but that I shall have cause to celebrate your deeds again ere long. Should you learn aught of value, pray return to me forthwith. A warm hearth and a warmer welcome shall be waiting for you.
Will do. Alton, welcome. Be pleased to know that the repairs to Stone's Vigil proceed apace. We shall rebuild sure and strong. The Travanians might batter themselves senseless against our shields in the west. I would venture, however, the matters of masonry are not what brought you to Whitebrim. On the trail of a band of thieving heretics, you say? Why, the Fury. But you do seem destined to cross paths with those villains. I must confess, then, it's a sad truth that the wilds hereabouts have indeed grown thick with their number. They strike swiftly, without warning, and are canny enough to evade our most able trackers. But 'tis not merely their newfound organization that confounds us. The heretics themselves have somehow changed. I know not what matter of influence this Iceheart wields, but the men we face seem utterly lost in the grip of righteous fervor. It's an unsettling and unnatural zeal. Mayhaps you would care to question one of their recent victims? As fate would have it, your arrival came moments after a trader was waylaid on the road. A patrol found the unfortunate fellow lying senseless in the snow. We carried him to our infirmary. Assuming he has regained the use of his faculties, the merchant might recall some small detail that could aid you in your task. Tell you what happened? Why, yes, of course. Quite recovered enough for that. To catch those cowardly Blackhearts. I was traveling my usual route to Whitebrim Front when a sudden blow sent me reeling. Next thing I knew, I was on the ground and several heretics were rifling through my cargo. Arms, armor, crystals. They were taking everything. It was then that one of them noticed my bleary gaze and stalked over to better acquaint my head with his mace. Before doctors claimed me, however, I distinctly heard the words, "Return to Snowcloak." I dare say that is where they were hauling my goods. They'll not catch me running off in pursuit. They tell me 'twas a miracle I survived it all, and I'll not trust my thick skull to save me a second time. Snowcloak, you say, yeah? Okay, this mouth is too big. It's too big. Throw your weapon, foul! Wait, I recognize you, adventurer. You're come seeking heretics? We share a common purpose. We're on patrol when we chance across one of their raiding parties. Pursue them here. By rights, we should have covered them in his ravine. We should have cornered them in this ravine. Yet they are gone. Vanished like icy raids. That was a short cutscene. You glimpse a woman atop a cliff? Could it be Iceheart herself to come to sneer at our folly? And where did she disappear? The heretics must have discovered a passage to the frozen wall. It's a bit tunnel that escaped our notice. We have not the men to risk further investigation. It would be best if we were to return to Whitebrim Front, lay our suspicions before Lord Drillamont. The range of this. I could scarce hear myself speak. Don't know if any of you could hear me through all that. That reminds me. There we go. Alison, it appears I owe you my thanks once again. The surviving knights spared no detail in their report. When you found out your Snowcloak was some of my finest, but they should be bested so handedly. I fear I have woefully underestimated the threat those heretics pose. While I understand you might balk at the notion, I must ask that you put aside your mission and consider the stolen provisions lost to us for now. It would be ill-advised to blunder unprepared into what may well be the very lair of our enemy. Pray, return to Dragonhead and inform Lord Horshathon of your discoveries. He will wish to plan contingencies of his own. As for Iceheart and her fanatics, the freezing height of Snowcloak will not shield them from our justice for long. Getting too big. So here's the situation.
Your return is most timely. Of their own accord, my thoughts had turned to your task and the progress thereof. I confess, my imaginings tended toward the grim and bloody.
What?
But you are here now, and I suspect such frivolous wonderings do little justice to the reality of your travails. Tell me, what did you learn of Iceheart? Indeed, and this transpired at Snowcloak? Of all the highlands, that towering wall has borne the worst of the region's brutal shift in climate. So inhospitable has Snowcloak become that we have still to survey the area in its entirety. Could its frozen heights conceal the heretics' hideaway? Mayhap a more robust reconnaissance effort is in order. Putting such considerations aside for the moment, we still know far too little of this Iceheart. That she is capable of commanding such a band of fanatics bespeaks natural authority, and no small measure of charisma. As much as I would like to fathom this mystery with you, the situation has grown beyond my personal purview. I am bound by duty to inform the Temple Knights and request that they bring this matter to its conclusion. Given the glowing reports the new commander has garnered thus far, I am certain that they can be relied upon to take appropriate action. Though Iceheart's true identity yet eludes us, you have provided us with a point from which to begin. Sometimes it takes but a single stone to prompt an avalanche. On the matter of the stolen provisions, I have already made arrangements for a second shipment to be sent to Revenant's Toll. I could not well allow such an honorable venture to be undermined by one miserable setback.
Very well. Watch as the second one gets stolen. Actually, wait, I could just... Right there! Malzin, 'tis good to see you return to the toll. How fared you in the frozen wastes of Curtis? House Photon is to send us a second shipment? I must send thanks to Lord Honchefont for his continued generosity. Yet, even as our town grows in prosperity, I fear it will attract even ever greater numbers of those who would do us harm in the name of greed or power. All of us, Alphanos and recruits included, must remain vigilant against such threats. While you were away in Curtis, preparations for the inaugural ceremony were all but completed. Although the Daru does yet seem somewhat flustered. I've taken enough of your time. Why don't you head into the Rising Stones and see if your frantic receptionist could do with a hand? These parchments need to be sorted, and these documents, why are they even here? Oh, I am sorely tempted to file the lot in my wastepaper basket. Basin, you silenced me. You wish to lend a hand? Splendid. Would you be at the end hand these uniforms to the new recruits? They're scattered about Revenant's Toll, and I haven't the time to track them all down. Recruits know to don their garb immediately and assemble in the Rising Stones. You want to report directly back to Alphino if you don't want to miss the ceremony. I wonder if the Scions will ever have matching uniforms. A well-funded organization is a well-dressed organization, I suppose. Nah. Those who believe the company will see riches are short-sighted fools. The giving of one's health is an investment in the future. Let's assign my name to the cause. These uniforms were a splendid idea. Once an organization has made a name for itself, there shall be wealth aplenty in selling replica costumes to the adoring masses. Sus, 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 sus. I thought best to mimic the fellows here, but I admit I have no idea what we're supposed to be doing. Ah, our new uniforms. They reminded of my induction into the Wood Whalers. Ildesir has at last retired from the adventurous life. Though I shall miss his wisdom and an irrepressible spirit, I am excited to forge my own path forwards. Oh yes, the uniform. Thank you. Truth be told, the thought of pledging myself to such a lofty organization is somewhat intimidating. The Scarlet God marks me as a proud member of the Maelstrom and a hearty defender of Limsa Lamensa. Yet in truth, I stand for the betterment of the realm, and the thought of this new company is a fine opportunity to contribute on a grander scale. Oh, and that's a striking shade of blue. Put aside my Maelstrom uniform, my wardrobe will certainly not lack for color. I don't believe we've met. I'm Ilbard, and I'll have the honor of leading my fellow recruits as captain. Much did I lose to Calamity, and I look forward to aiding others in rebuilding their lives. These uniforms are a shrewd decision. There's no easier method of creating a common bond among what is, essentially, a band of strangers. Little amigo could learn much from the Revenant's Toll, but this town can be so alive in the midst of such desolation. I've never worn arts quite so voluminous. Well, I'm sure I'll grow accustomed to the extra cloth in time. Thousand Sky Cloak? I didn't expect to meet you strolling about town. The tale of your primal battles were what inspired me to come to Revenant's Toll. Huh. It's an honor to receive this uniform from your hands. I shall wear it with pride. Hello there, lad. Looking for me, was ye? I'd just given it a whistle, but I'm not sure as I'd hear it amongst all the bustle. Oh, proper uniforms and all. This thing will cut the blood. Will cut off the blood in me head. Not to worry though. I'm sure she'll be fine after making a few adjustments. Yes, Falzon? Ah, Tatara mentioned that you were handing out the uniforms. I assume you've now met the rest of the recruits. Some few answered the call to arms I put forth through the established grand companies and such. We are not yet an army, but there is much a small corps of elite soldiers can achieve. Did I mention I thought of a name for the company? It is my hope that it shall soon be known across the breadth of Eorzea. The moment of truth draws near, Falzon. Once the last of the recruits have gathered, I shall make the official announcement.
Comrades, your presence here this day signifies the momentous choice that each of you has made. With your strength now pledged to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are beholden to no single nation. You stand as the vanguard for a united Eorzea. From this moment forth, I declare you Crystal Braves. Let us mend this fractured realm and face our enemies as one.
You need a... Could you come up with a better name, Alphino? Obnoxious blue color aside.
Whether it be the Beastmen and their primals, or the conflict in Carteneau, it is plain that the nations of Eorzea cannot solve the problems which plague the realm. Thus does it fall to some few heroic souls to succeed where they have failed. Come, take your place at the Scion's side as guardians of Eorzea, and together we shall fight for the freedom of all! For the freedom of all!
A rousing speech, Alphino. Or should I say, Crystal Brave Commander Leveilleur?
Please, Antecedent. The title is honorary. I shall not be leading the troops into battle, as it were.
You should. You're the one who made it.
We are of the same purpose. Let us join hands and do what must be done to save this land.
The Scions stand ready. I'm eager to see what the Crystal Braves might accomplish. This shall prove an interesting time indeed for the Scions. Yes, I'm listening. So our worst fears are confirmed. The entire Isle. Such power defies comprehension. Truly? Kryl is alive? Thank the 12. I see. Pray, inform me if her condition changes. Yes, I shall pass on your words to Urianger. My thanks. I shall contact you anon. When I learned of the loss of the Isle of Val, I dared not hope that my friend had survived. Yet, by some miracle, it would seem she has. She's still to regain consciousness, it is true, but better that than death. Putting this happy news to one side, we must now endeavor to make sense of the readings taken by the survey party. It appears the etheric disturbance which accompanied the Isle's destruction is of a magnitude alarmingly close to that of Ultima. Could the Ascians be responsible for this devastation as well? I wonder, have you heard aught from the Mother Crystal since the battle with the Garleans?
No.
Then she speaks to neither one of us. Heidelind's silence portends naught but ill, I fear. Louisoix, I pray you yet watch over us.
Very good. See that the provisions are prepared for transport. Let us hope that this shipment is spared the fate of the lost. The fact that the shipment contained crystals is concerning. First one. The winds are uncommon fierce this day. That's not foreboding at all. Wait, that was part 5? Seriously? Well. We're closer to the end than I anticipated. Try as I might, I cannot shake a creeping sense of dark foreboding, but it avails us not to fret about the unknown. We must concentrate instead on the problems of the present. The primals have been relatively quiet of late. The beast tribes who summon them are under constant surveillance by the grand companies. Should any suspicious activity be afoot, you may be certain that we will hear of it. And until such time as a permanent solution to the primal problem has been found, we can do little but wait and observe. As for the Ascians, Urianger has wholly dedicated to finding the means by which we may defeat the dark beings. Let us pray for good tidings on that front. But all this you knew already. Let us speak of the more current matters, in particular the state of the Crystal Braves. Alvino did well to found the organization, but ensuring its smooth operation is another matter entirely. Though I doubt not that he's doing his best, felt that a helping hand or two would not go astray. To this end, I offered to send one of the Archons to assist him, but he declined. You know how he can be, independent to a fault and singularly loath to accept help. Save, of course, when that help comes from you. Alvino has entrusted countless matters of import to your care in the past. And I believe he would not hesitate to do so again were you to offer. I should be most grateful if you would go to him and support him in whatever manner you who are able. What is it, Bowsen? And do be concise, I am rather busy. You would lend a hand, you say? Let's see. Well, now that you mention it, there is a matter that wants for attention. Given its sensitive nature, I was hesitant to entrust it to my braves, but demands upon my time are such that I had little choice. Which is not to say that my men want for labor, though we are but newly formed, and there is already a great demand for our services. We are hard-pressed to answer all petitions, but I digress. The fact is, I would sooner attend to this particular matter myself, but my presence is required elsewhere. That being the case, I have entrusted its resolution to my second-in-command, Captain Ilberd. Tell him that I sent you. He will furnish you with the particulars. My thanks in advance, Valzen.
Hail to you, Scion. How might we serve you? Commander Leveilleur bade you serve us? These are welcome tidings indeed. Given the sensitive nature of the task, I could not rely on one of my own.
Huh?
That which I'm about to tell you, I tell you in the strictest confidence.
All right.
Some days ago, we received certain documents from an anonymous source. They notified us of the presence of a Garlean agent within the ranks of one of the Grand Companies. Following some discreet inquiries, we identified a suspect among the Immortal Flames, whom we detained for questioning. Alas, the man was not our agent. He was but one of many men in the agent's employ. We pressed the traitor for a name, but he had none to give. He claims never to have met his master, whom he knows only as the Ivy. He was, however, certain that this Ivy had coiled itself around every part of the Immortal Flames. It would seem our quarry joined the company some time ago, and gradually recruited others to his cause. These conspirators are the vines by which he learns our secrets, all without exposing himself. It won't be easy to identify the Ivy amidst this tangled mass of subterfuge. But we have a tendril in our hands, and we shall follow it all the way to the gnarled root.
All right then. Conspiracy.
Now, much as I would prefer to proceed with due discretion, circumstances demand that this matter be settled post-haste. Garlemald's War of Succession nears its end, and it is feared that the Empire will soon resume its march on Eorzea. When it does, we can ill afford to have traitors in our midst. The Ivy must be rooted out now. We must begin by apprising General Reborn of our findings. I would ask that you accompany me to the Hall of Flames, and remain on hand to see that things go smoothly. Assuming the Ivy's tendrils are as widespread as we believe, he will be aware that an investigation is underway, and if that is the case, he may well move against us. We must be prepared for anything, while taking care not to betray our purpose by seeming prepared. A simple enough task for a one-man army like you.
All right then. So pay attention to Ilberd. He's going to be very important. For reasons you might not expect.
Well, well. What brings you here, my friend?
He is here at my behest. Greetings, Reborn. It has been a while.
Hilbert, you old scoundrel. When they told me you'd be visiting, I scarce believed my ears. But look at you! The honored captain of the Crystal Bloody Braves. Who'd have imagined, eh?
Not many, but fewer still would have imagined your destiny lay in politics, old friend.
Aye. We've both come far, have we not? Lest you wonder, Ilbert and I go back a long way. We've been friends and rivals since we were lads. The last time we saw each other, Alamigo had just fallen, so you can guess how many summers it's been. And in all that time, not a word from the fool.
Ah, well, my dealings tended toward the modest and mundane, unlike some I could mention. As I hear it, no sooner did you reach Thanalan than the brass blades clapped you in irons and dragged you off to die on the blood sands. Being a stubborn sort, you won 1,000 matches and earned yourself a place in the people's hearts while you were about it. Then, with your mountain of prize money, you bought the Colosseum and secured a seat on the Syndicate. Those balls, brother! Rags to riches does not do it justice. You're a hero to the common man.
Bah, spare me. I am no hero. If anyone is worthy of that title, it's our friend here. Next to him, I'm little more than a glorified butcher.
Oh, come now.
But you, Ilbert, you sell yourself short. By all accounts, you are an adventurer of some standing.
I like to think that I did my part for the greater good. But if you're no hero, then I'm no adventurer, not in this company. Anyway. I have tidings.
So there has been progress. I've let it be known that this meeting is a reunion between old friends. None will give your visit a second thought. To convene elsewhere would only attract attention. Let us speak here, in plain view of all. So it is we who have been compromised. Teleji Adeleji's machinations have shaken Ul'dah to her foundations. In such uncertain times, a man's loyalty may be bought for a fistful of gil. But if this snake has truly been in our midst for as long as you say, we must needs consider a far graver possibility. Conspiracy. Could it be that the Monetarists have been in league with the Empire from the first? Very well. I will have my most trusted men investigate the matter. Continue your inquiries in the meantime. It does me well to see you again, old friend. When next we meet, let it be over a flagon of ale.
I look forward to it. Let us reminisce of bygone days, and drink to the future of our homeland.
I for one think it is one of Ralbon's most trusted men.
Flame General. You wear the mantle well, old friend. I must work hard if I'm to keep up. Well, it would seem your services were not required after all. I dare say we have Reborn's prudence to thank for that. Still, I was glad of your presence. My thanks, Scion.
Our hunt for the Ivy begins in earnest, Scion. Suffice to say, we must tread warily. A misstep may well cost us our lives. Our business here is concluded for the time being. Let's return to the Rising Stones to report to Commander Levinger. Back and forward and back and forward. Yeah, blue now. We returned from Uldar, Commander. Not a moment too soon. Something has happened. Trouble? You recall that the Fourth was tasked with reconnoitering the rendezvous sites used by the Ivy's minion and his Imperial contacts. Soon after you left, we received word that the unit was ambushed en route to its destination. What? Damn it! According to the report, one of ours has been taken captive. The Guardians are not wont to treat their foemen with dignity and have grave fears for her safety. We must dispatch a rescue party at once. Recall those braves who are afield. Beg your pardons, Commander. We have not the time. I'm afraid I must ask for your aid once more, Scion. An ill-prepared rescue party will only serve to provide the Guardians with more captives. Yet time is of the essence. Simply put, you're the best chance we have. Captain Reborn has the right of it. I trust you are willing, but of course you are. Now, Elena the Fourth lies in wait in a tangle near the entrance to the Castrum Sentry. Seek her out, and she will appraise you of the situation. Devote. You would aid us in the rescue mission? We are in your debt, Warrior of Light. Now time is against us, so allow me to brief you on the situation. The Guardians fell upon us without warning poor Resh and hauling her away to the castrum yonder. Numbered as we were, it was all we could do to flee and regroup. Even as we speak, the Guardians may be interrogating Resh, or worse. With her hurts, I fear that she will not long survive their attentions. We must rescue her without delay. Our order may be in its infancy, but the bond that binds us is strong as mithril. None of us will stand by while a comrade suffers. We, the remnants of the Fourth, will infiltrate the Castrum Sentry. Please help us find Resh before it's too late. I shall do so the only method I know how. With arcane ultraviolence. Was that all? What? Where am I? Resh! Thank the gods we found you! And thank you, Warrior of Light! Now to quit this accursed place. Resh cannot move with those wounds. She'll need to be carried out. I believe a diversion is in order. Might we trouble you to provide one? Given your reputation, I suspect the Guardians will be only too happy to grant you your undivided attention. If you were to create a commotion within the castrum, we should be able to steal away unnoticed. Let us speak once again once we are safe outside these walls. Hooray! More arcane ultraviolence! Peekaboo. Nope, not that button. Oh, that works. I've awaited your return most anxiously, my friend. You've done us a great service indeed. Thanks to your aid, our comrade Resh is safe, and we suffer no further casualties. Words cannot well express my gratitude. All that is left to report is the mission's success to Commander Lavior. I shall go ahead to the Rising Stones. Nah, I am, and my speech is slurred for some reason. I seem to be forgetting how to talk day by day. Oh, 1 second. Gonna be having some chips in a bit. It does me well to see you thus returned. Though I doubt not your prowess, entering an enemy's stronghold is generally considered to be a risky venture, and I must confess to having been a trifle anxious. But here you are, hale and whole, having succeeded in your mission as is your wont. Lest you wonder, the woman you rescued is being cared for by the Domans. Thanks to their expert ministrations, the danger is past. You have my gratitude, Nelson. Allow me to thank you also, Scion. Resh owes you her life. We escaped with minimal casualties this time. But we can ill afford to be caught off guard again. The Empire is not an opponent to be trifled with. As you say, Commander, I will see to it that the men keep their wits about them. And it may yet take time. I will not rest until we have identified and apprehended the Ivy. I have every confidence that you will succeed, Captain. As for you, Balzan, I realize you have scarce caught your breath. I'm afraid there is no rest for the weary. I require that you accompany me to Kurthus. I have been granted an audience with an Ishgardian dignitary, you see. The men expressly requested your presence. Oh, do not look so disappointed. You should be familiar with the trappings of fame by now. not with the trappings of fame by now. We shall depart as soon as you are ready. Ah! We've been blessed with a rare opportunity, Malzen. An audience with an ambassador of the Holy See of Ishgard. We have to meet with Sir Emmerich, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights in Camp Dragonhead. It is considered a great honor to serve the Holy See directly as a Temple Knight. Needless to say, their leader wields tremendous political influence. It would be wise to court his favor. For that reason, I consider your attendance essential. If Sir Emmerich wishes to meet the man behind the legend, I would not deny him the pleasure of your company. The antecedent should see the wisdom of this plan when you request their permission to accompany you to Guts. Mayhap you feel this to be a waste of your talents, which could doubtless be put to nobler use. If so, I shall remind you that more good can be accomplished with the stroke of a pen than the thrust of a sword. Also, I don't know if anybody can hear what's going on in the background, but there's quite a few people talking back there. A meeting with an Ishgardian ambassador? By all means, I think it a wonderful idea. We received no reports of etheric disturbances or unusual beast tribe activity of late. If Avana believes your presence may help him to secure more favorable terms, I see no reason to deny him. Okay. Antecedent. I take it Malzen has explained the situation? He has. Yet welcome though these overtures are, I cannot help but wonder what prompted them. The Ishgardians have spurned all contact with the other city-states for decades. Why reach out now? But that I knew, the question of their motives is one to which I have given no small amount of thought. Alas, I know no more than is generally known. The notoriously reclusive nation of Ishgard, situated at the center of Abalthia's spine, ruled by the Ishgardian Orthodox Church, at the head of which presides the Archbishop. Members of the original Eorzean Alliance formed in the wake of Elamigo's fall some 2 decades ago. Friends of Convenience, who withdrew from the Alliance as soon as the Imperial fleet was routed at the Battle of Silver Tear Skies. Since which time, their borders have remained closed to all outsiders. They have rejected every one of their former allies' calls to reopen dialogue, turning a deaf ear to their neighbors' pleas even when the calamity loomed large. And on the fields of Cottonelle, where brave men and women laid down their lives in defense of the realm, their banners were conspicuously absent. I've tried to convince Ishgard to rejoin the Alliance at every opportunity. I've explained over and over again that unless Eorzea stands united, we cannot hope to preserve our freedom. One by one, our nations will fall, as once fell Elamigo. And what if mine efforts yielded? Why not? Surely this can be considered a step in the right direction? I should hope so. Rather than the lowly messengers we've been fobbed off with in the past, this time we shall meet with a man of genuine influence. Of course, I am not so naive as to think that they can come to us out of the goodness of their hearts. We have something they desire, though I have yet to find out what. But such is the nature of diplomacy. They will bring their agendas to the negotiating table, and so will I, along with a handful of incontrovertible truths. The Empire will soon be at our doorstep once more. Indeed, you may be assured that I will expound upon this point and others. Let us depart for Camp Dragonhead, Malzen. Our old friend Lord Horchefant is expecting us. Since our quest to recover the Enterprise, I understand you have further integrated yourself with the man. Excellent work. This fondness may prove useful to our cause. Well, I am a bean. I am tiny. And with me, I bring the fury of the small. Actually, wait. I have a shortcut there. What am I doing? No, not that way. This way. Ah, Palzen, ever a welcome sight. Our hearts have been stoked to blazing in preparation for your arrival. It would not do for such a distinguished personage to catch cold while enjoying our hospitality. The gesture is much appreciated. I fear I shall ever struggle in cold climes. Good Master Alphino, an honor as always. Likewise, Lord Harshafont. Forgive us yet another imposition. Here we have relied much on your aid since you so generously assisted us in locating the Enterprise. Nonsense! Any debts incurred have long since been repaid. Besides, who can say what the future may bring? House Photon may ever seek the aid of your newly formed Crystal Braves. In any case, I am simply delighted that the Holy See is at last willing to grant you an audience. No doubt your discoveries at Snowcloak helped to justify the decision. This recent resurgence in heretical activity is of grave concern to us all. But to the matter at hand, Sir Emmerich arrived in Camp Dragonhead earlier, and I'm told he is eager to meet with you at your first convenience. You are doubtless weary from your journey and desirous to rest a while by the warmth of our hearth. But if you're willing to forego such comforts, pray inform the knight stationed outside the ancestry. He will grant you an entrance and send word to other attendees. As inviting as your heart sounds, I think it best we proceed to the ancestry forthwith. I agree. We've been expecting you, sir. Pray, take your ease inside and I shall summon the others.
Have faith, my friend. You need only state your case with confidence and clarity.
Righto.
Commander Leveilleur, it is both an honor and a pleasure to meet you. I am Emmerich, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights.
Alphino Leveilleur, at your service.
Not in Battles in Skycloak.
Your reputation precedes you, Sir Emmerich. I think we will find that we have much in common.
Speaking of reputations, yours towers over us all. Does it not?
You know who I am. Of course you do.
It does indeed, Lord Commander.
I am not too proud to admit that I have followed your activities with an interest bordering on fascination. Full glad was I to learn that you would be joining us.
Oh.
Now then, shall we begin?
Indeed.
We know full well that the Garleans will return in force ere long. What is more, we have yet to achieve a lasting victory over the primal menace. The beast tribes continue to summon their gods, and each incarnation is stronger than the last. Ishgard is not immune to these threats. I must reiterate that it would behoove your nation to rejoin the Eorzean alliance.
Once again, I must respectfully disagree.
On what grounds?
Despite their presence in Kurthus, the Ixal do not concern us. Their territorial claims pertain to Gridanian lands, and it is the people of Gridania whom they harry. Consequently, the Holy See judges this to be a Gridanian affair, and Ishgard does not intervene in the internal affairs of other nations.
Well, what about the Dravanians?
Even were that not the case, our forces are wholly committed to the Dravanian conflict. We have not the knights to spare. As for the Garleans, we are not ignorant of history. We have observed the rise and expansion of the Empire, and we agree that it is only a matter of time before they resume their campaign in Eorzea.
Then surely it would be in our best interests to present a united front.
Mayhap one day, but not yet. Gaius van Belsar is dead, and the legion of conscripts he left behind lacks the will to fight. We think it highly unlikely that they will emerge from behind the walls of their castra for some time.
Forgive me, but if Ishgard's position has not changed, why did you agree to this meeting?
It was not only as a representative of Ishgard that I came here.
Pardon?
Huh?
It is not within my power to change Ishgardian policy, regardless of my personal feelings. There is, however, one area in which I may exert a measure of influence. Concerns have been raised over the supplies House Forton has offered to Revenant's Toll. These have led to calls for restrictions on the provision of aid to foreign powers. I can ensure that the shipments continue unabated.
Oh.
Sir Emmerich, we would be in your debt.
No, you would not. For I require something in exchange.
And there it is.
Of late, there has been a flurry of Dravanian activity, the purpose of which was not immediately clear. However, our astrologians have since observed alarming changes in the heavens. The dragon star waxes unnaturally bright, and there are whispers that it portends the resurrection of Midgard-Sorma.
What?
The fallen guardian of Silvertear Falls? That's absurd.
Full many times have I gazed upon the dragon's corpse still wound around the Agrius, and wondered how different our world might be if it yet lived to plague the skies. I do not know, and I do not wish to know, nor does any son of Ishgard. Yet the mere presence of Dravanian forces is not sufficient grounds to send knights to Mordona, whatever our astrologians say. As I told you before, we have not the forces to spare.
But we do. So you will intervene on our behalf if we agree to watch over the Keeper of the Lake.
Do you accept these terms?
I think that's easy enough.
I do. I will see that you are kept abreast of any developments. I regret that we could not come to a similar agreement on other matters, but I understand that you are not at liberty to make such decisions. Nevertheless, I hope that what we have accomplished here today will serve to demonstrate to your countrymen that we can work together towards a common goal. Mayhap one day we shall look back on this moment as the first step towards a united Eorzea.
Mayhap we shall, Commander.
Hmm?
What is the meaning of this?
The caravan, my lord. It's been attacked.
Of course.
It was Iceheart, my lord.
What? By the Fury! All our precautions were for naught?
Alright. This is the part where I do something about it. Just when we were starting to make progress. To make matters worse, the caravan they spoke of was bound for Revenant's Toll of all places. Honestly, were I so inclined, I should think the gods were conspiring against us. Happily, however, I am not. I would know more of this attack. Let's speak with Lord Borchefont and find out what he has learned. I will be right back, folks. Just getting a little something. I'm also planning for this to be a bit of a longer stream than usual. So, let's consider this a break. Never mind, folks. It seems it's gonna take a bit longer before it does happen. Might be. Let's get back at it. My sincerest apologies for the interruption, my friends, but the situation is such that we must act swiftly. If you would be so kind as to elaborate. Iceheart's heretics fell upon the caravan bound for Revenant's Toll as it was passing through Boulder Downs. It was an ambush, swift and ruthless. In an instant, every knight was slain, every crate seized. Then, as quickly as they appeared, they were gone. 'Twould be impossible without knowledge of the routes, knowledge to which only a select few are privy, I presume. Quite. We can pursue that avenue of inquiry in due course. Seems to me that examining the scene of the ambush should be our first concern. The trail is yet warm. We must act swiftly, as Lord Borchefont said, lest crucial evidence be lost. You have a knack for discerning hidden truths, Valzin. Why don't you go and inspect the ambush site in person? An excellent idea! Inform my men of your intent upon arrival. They will gladly share their findings. That was a wolf. Move along, adventurer. There's nothing for... Will Borchefont bid you speak with us? He must be... beg your pardon, Scion. Oh, wait, that's a... Wait. No, that's a guy. As you can see, they left nary a crate behind. Tipped the wagon for good measure, even. Whole thing's a bit odd, if you ask me. Would have been easier just to steal it. Though a damn sight harder to conceal it, I'll allow. Reckon they came prepared. Probably with wagons of their own hidden away off. But pray no heed to my ramblings. Absent of proof, 'tis naught but speculation. Might be as the squire receiving care of the observatorium could tell you something more factual. That is, if he's awake. Like myself, he was there during the attack. Not that his presence amounted to much. Are you in here? Yep. You. Come back to ask about the attack, haven't you? You come upon them before the entrance to the Hall of the Seven Echoes. Pilgrims. We marked them as lost and ill-equipped for a journey further north. The leader called out to them, one step further to answer. Slowly she approached, her silver hair flowing in the wind like melting snow. Just a young girl, I thought, some poor lost lamb in search of salvation. Our leader must have thought the same, else why would he let her draw so close? They exchanged some words I couldn't hear, and she leaned forward as if to kiss his cheek, and then he sighed and crumbled to the ground. I didn't know what happened until I saw the snow turn red. Then and there was red everywhere I looked. Tried to fight, but took a blow to the head. By the time I came to, the others were dead and the heretics were unloading the wagon. They could have killed me, so I just lay still and listened. Iceheart's people spoke of deliverance and resurrection, and they spoke of Shiva. Shiva. Actually, now that I think about it, I think we're actually getting close to the natural endpoint of these streams. So hopefully we still have time. If not, I can always just blitz through Snowcloak. Ah, you've returned. What news have you for us? It seems the Lady Iceheart does not scruple to sully her hands with blood. Who is this Shiva the heretic spoke of? Have you not read a single line of the Enchiridion, Master Alphino? Shiva was a traitor to kith and kin, an apostate who laid down with dragons. Now, we cannot expect all foreigners to know Ishgardian scripture so well, particularly when it comes to the patron saints of heretics. Wait, you say she is their patron saint? Oh no, it all makes sense now. What was the caravan's cargo? As I recall, the Diamond Fortune requested a large quantity of crystals. Do you not see it? Iceheart and her fellow was intent to summon Shiva as a beast tribe with a primal. Why else would they go to such lengths to secure crystals? I shall inform the Lord Commander at once. Lord Harshaphant, you would agree that discretion is of paramount concern. Of course. I trust we can count on your continued support, Master Alphino. Scions of the Seventh Dawn are sworn to combat the primal threat. Our support is a given. I will need to send word to my brethren in Reverend's Toll. Our entire order must turn its efforts to the prevention of this summoning. Naturally, that includes you. But I'm sure you would not miss this for the world. Oh yeah. Resistant attacks on our caravan seemed little more than a nuisance at first. The heretics were a problem to be sure, but a relatively minor one. It was before I discerned the purpose behind their attacks, of course. Now they have my undivided attention. As for praising Benfilia of the situation, I shall summon a unit of crystal braves to assist us. As for you, Valzin, pray join me in Whiteburn Front. Since the incident at Snowcloak, the Knights of the House Dunendare have redoubled their reconnaissance efforts in the region. It is my hope that they have information which may help us to determine precisely where the heretics are hiding. Given our mutual enemy, Lord Drillamont should be eager to oblige us. I shall see you there then. Good. What a joyous night for a Saiyan, what a joyous night for a Saiyan to turn into a great ape, or rather, great monkey. Because apes do not have tails. Scions of the Seventh Dawn wish to join in the hunt for Iceheart? Assistance is more than welcome, my friends. Considering the report I just received, I dare say your timing could be no better. We are all ears, Lord Gillamont. A band of pilgrims was last seen transporting a large number of crates to the west. The garb appears to match the description provided by the squire who survived the attack. Alas, our scouts lost track of them at Snowcloak. That self-same frozen wall which we speculated might conceal the heretics' hideaway. Suffice to say, the disappearance of these pilgrims and their provisions all but confirms our suspicions. I have heard enough. My knights will join the hunt. I took the liberty of summoning a unit of Crystal Braves to Whitebrim Font. Given the gravity of the situation, I trust you will agree that we must use every resource available to us. These are extraordinary circumstances, Commander. It would be in our best interests to coordinate our efforts. Such was my intent from the start, Sir Emmerich. So it begins, my friend, though I dare say it will prove an all too brief collaboration. Iceheart will not elude the combined forces of the Crystal Braves and the Temple Knights for long. Nevertheless, a wise man does not wager upon the success of a single solution. There may yet be subtler means by which we can locate the heretics' lair. Mayhap Gillamont has one in mind. I mean, we could just ask him. Yes, yes, excellent. My lady, everything has been accounted for. If there was aught else you would have us do, pray speak, and it shall be done. She got them legs, though. Seems as though we are always one step behind, a quarry ever just beyond our reach. Though I would like to believe that the tables are about to turn, I must confess to having certain doubts. A joint effort may succeed where others have failed, but it could yet yield the same result. Fortunately, we are not without other options. I trust you haven't forgotten Inquisitor Ghislaine? We have not. The mystery of how the heretic remained undiscovered for so long has been much in our thoughts, as has the question of what steps might have been taken to prevent a similar breach of security in the future. Accordingly, we conducted an exhaustive and covert evaluation of everyone in Whitebrim Front. Though some were found to have committed certain minor transgressions, we identified only one possible heretic. If this man has pledged himself to Iceheart's cause, he will have taken note of the movements of the Temple Knights and the Crystal Braves, and upon recognizing their intent, he may attempt to warn the heretics. The man's watch is to end soon, at which point he must report to Sir Jean Tremont in the yard. I would have you keep an eye on him. If he ventures beyond the walls, follow him discreetly. Should he meet with a heretic, do not interfere. Simply watch and listen. I have seen to it that the suspect knows nothing which could endanger our plans. Clever. The whole sneaking thing would work better. It definitely does work better later down the line. Like, they actually make it a challenge. Hey! Hey! Where in the Seven Hills are you? I'm freezing my bollocks off here! I'm here, you blundering oaf. Why are you late? Standing on the wall, why else? I have duties to fulfill, you know. The sole duty is to the... Bloody echo. Lower your voice so they'll hear us in the White Room front. Yes, of course. Temple Knights are... It's Snowcloak. This is what you bring to me? We already know about... Our comrades in Boulder Dells will use the tunnels... Dead. Before they know what's happening. Nevertheless, if you waste my time again. Is that clear? Well, did your investigation bear fruit? I see. I shall have the man detained at once. His guilt is plain. Would that you could have heard their words more clearly. Yet the few scratches you were able to make out are nonetheless lightning. It seems the heretics are aware of our operation, and confident that they can thwart it. The comrades in Boulder Downs are key to their plans. Which means it is key to our plans that they be rooted out and put to the sword. We have long suspected that the heretics use a network of secret tunnels to traverse the highlands undetected. Given what you overheard, I fear that Snowcloak may be riddled with such passageways, and that the heretics in Boulder Downs are planning to use them to take our forces unawares. Needless to say, we cannot allow that to happen. The contingent of House Durandare Knights are on patrol in the area, and I shall order them to begin searching for heretics at once. But knowing nothing of our enemy's numbers or readiness, I cannot say for sure that they will be sufficient. It would put my mind at ease if you would consent to assist my knights with the search. I would know that they would take charge for the presence of so storied a warrior. Pray rendezvous with them at Boulder Downs. If Alone is kind, we may catch the heretics before the plans come to fruition. Show them no mercy, Belzen. The lives of our allies are at stake. I'm just flying through. Looks like they dropped something. I sent no word of your coming, Velzen. What has happened? What is that in your hand? By the Fury, those were veterans with years of service. Now they lie dead in the snow. The bodies must be recovered, and... No, we don't have the men to spare. Not now. Not while Ishar prepares to summon an abomination. The heretics you dispatched were not sufficient number to contend with. The combined strength of the Temple Knights and the Crystal Braves. There must be others, and I'll wager that they are on their way to Snowcloak as we speak. To make matters worse, it seems the traitor you followed managed to pass the heretics something of value after all. The parchment you recovered is a timetable of the guardsmen's watches at our outpost in Snowcloak. The traitor was stationed here long before he aroused our suspicions. But that we had caught him sooner. With this information, the heretics would know when the watch was weakest. They could use their tunnels with impunity and prepare their ambush. The timetable has not changed, you see. Of course, it will be changed now, but the heretics may already be in position. There must send reinforcements, even if it means withdrawing knights from the Stone Vigil. We can see no other way to safeguard the lives of our allies. I think this is a good place as any to call the stream. Alright, as I lead us to this. Okay. Thank you all for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with some Ender Lilies. And I'll be doing this next week. And continuing this next week as we go into into Shiva proper. But for now, and as always, until next time, folks.